everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, but I was gone on vacation, but I am back with another video, and this time we'll be doing a beautiful set of glitter nails with some flowers and some foil and also some glow in the dark and ombre. So it's going to be quite a few different techniques all in one set. So as you can see, I already have my flowers out, and for my foil I'm just using the gold foil and I'm just cutting it with my fingertips, and it's really easy to cut. Just cut it into whatever size like you want, I guess, because it's not gonna ever be the same size, of course. And as always, I'm using my Mia Secret acrylic system in the color pink, which is a really translucent pink. And then as you can see, I'm using my alpha brush in a number 9, which is the one that I always use. So the first thing that we're doing is we're just going in and applying a thin layer of acrylic over the whole nail. You want to do this just because if your client comes back and she doesn't want that glitter on her nails the next time, then you can just easily file it off. But once we have that nice layer, we're going to go in and pick up some glitter. So I'm just using my iridescent glitter by Coco Glitter Bell, so I'll be sure to leave her link in the description. But I buy her glitters from eBay. She does have a store on there, but she also has her regular store, and I'll leave the link to that as well. Once we have a little bit of glitter down, I'm going to go in and apply the flowers. So as you can see, I've applied one closer to the tip. I just pat it down, make sure it's not, sticking up or anything, because if not, we will easily file it off. So make sure it's on there really good. And then as you can see, I also went back in and applied a little bit of that foil. And I'm going to try to do 3 flowers on this nail. I'm going to do another one closer to the top, closer to the cuticle area. But make sure that you have like the wet acrylic underneath. That way it kind of like sinks into the acrylic, if that makes sense. Because you're going to come back and encapsulate that. And then again, just apply your gold foil wherever you want it. Alrighty, so now I'm going to go in with that same Mia Secret acrylic in the color pink, or of course you can use a clear, but as you guys know, I always just use my clear because it's really translucent. And we're just going to encapsulate all that glitter, the flowers, and the foil. Remember, when you're doing this, you want to make sure that your acrylic is thick enough to where you're not going to be filing off any of the glitter, any of the flowers, or the foil. So make sure that, again, everything is encapsulated really good. And then also, whenever you're doing this, making sure that you don't get any of that acrylic on the skin, because as always, it will cause lifting. But most importantly, make sure that you have a good stress area, which is that part right in the middle of the nail, like closer to the cuticle area. You want that area to be thicker than the rest of the nail, because if not, your nails will break off really easily. Alrighty, so for this nail, we're going to be doing an ombre effect. So first thing that I'm doing is just doing a thin layer of acrylic over the whole nail, just like we did with the first nail. We're brushing that down towards the tip, and then we're also making sure that we clean around that cuticle area really good. Once we're done doing this, we're going to go ahead and apply that glitter on the tip. Remember, you could always pick up a bead of acrylic, place it into the glitter, and then place it on the nail. Or you could also just simply dip your brush into the glitter on its own and just dab it on the nail. After this, I'm going to go ahead and pick up the little pieces of foil, and you literally just place them wherever you want. And then you're also going to see me using like an off-whitish acrylic, and all that is literally white acrylic, clear, and also some glow in the dark powder in there. So as you can see, it's not like super white. It's more of that, like, I think people are calling it the nut color. So it's kind of that color. I'm just placing it closer to the cuticle area, and that's just going to give us an ombre effect to where it goes from like that white color to clear glitter, which is really pretty. And then again, this back part closer to the cuticle area, of course, will glow in the dark. But as always, make sure that when you're applying the acrylic closer to the cuticle area, that you wipe around that cuticle area really good, because if not, you will get lifting. And then as always, just coming back and encapsulating that glitter and that foil to make sure that we don't file any of it off. And then as always, making sure that you look at your nail from different angles to make sure that it's nice and even, and also that you have a nice arch.
I don't deny there's some strange evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
Alrighty, so for the middle finger, I'm going to go ahead and again do a bead of acrylic over the whole nail. And this one, I'm not going to be doing an ombre. I'm just going to be doing the glitter and the foil all over the nail. So I still went ahead and did the layer over the whole nail. And then I'm coming back in and doing another thin layer. But this time I'm doing that off-whitish glow-in-the-dark color. And I'm just doing it over the whole nail. After that, I'm going to come in with the glitter and also placing it all over the nail, and then coming back and adding some of that foil over it as well. As you can see, this glitter is really pretty. It's really shiny, and it's like that perfect shade of pink. Like you can kind of tell how it like changes colors depending on how the light hits it. So as you can see, like some pieces look blue, others look orange, pink, yellowish. So it's really pretty, and then that gold just complements it so well. So as always, just place your gold pieces wherever you want them, and then we're gonna come back and encapsulate that. And as always, you can use clear acrylic to encapsulate your nails, but I just use my pink one because it's really translucent and you can barely tell that it's any pink in it. And if you can, I still really do not mind. Alrighty, so for this pinky, we're going to do the same thing that we did on the index finger. We're going to be doing that ombre look. So same thing, we're doing a layer of acrylic over the whole nail. We're coming back and applying that glitter right on that tip. And as you can see, I'm just dipping my brush into that glitter and just dabbing it on the nail. And then I'm going to come back and apply the foil pieces over it. And then we're going to come back and do the white color at the back closer to the cuticle area. Alrighty, and again, I'm using my Alpha brush in a number 9, and I do have a promo code for them, so as always, I'll be sure to leave that down in the description. And then again, my Mia Secret acrylic system is in the color pink, and I get the monomer and the polymer by Mia Secret, and I get that off of Amazon. Alrighty, and lastly, for the thumb, we're going to be doing the same thing that we did on the ring finger. So same thing, we're doing a layer of acrylic over the whole nail. After this, we're going to come back and do the glitter over the whole nail as well, and then applying the flowers over it as well. And we're also going to do the 3 flowers, and then I'm going to be using different colors. Alrighty, and also you want to make sure that whenever you're applying your flowers, I think I already said this, but when you're applying your flowers, make sure that you pat them down. That way they're flat on the nail, because if not, once you apply the acrylic, if they're lumpy or something and then you come back and file, you will file those flowers off. So make sure that they're flat on the nail, like really flat on the nail. And then as you can see, I'm patting them down with my fingers as well to make sure that they lay down. And then of course we're coming back and encapsulating that with the acrylic. As you can see, that one lifted a little bit, so I'm just going back and making sure that I like flatten it out. That way the acrylic lays down really smoothly. And then as always, we're just gonna apply our bead closer to the tip, brushing it down towards the tip. We're gonna come back and apply another one right above that one. Again, it's really important that you make sure that all of your glitter and your flowers and your foil is encapsulated really good, because I know I have seen that if you don't encapsulate the glitter, or actually no, the foil really good, it's gonna turn like a greenish color, especially if you try using the foil like over polish and just do a top coat over it. If it's not completely inside the acrylic or inside the top coat, I promise you it's going to turn like a ugly green color. So make sure that it is completely encapsulated where you're not going to file it off. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other hand. Again, on the ring finger and the thumb, we're doing full nails of glitter with the flowers and the foil. On the middle finger, we're doing just a full nail of glitter and foil. And then the pinky and the index finger, we're doing the ombre nail with the glitter, the foil, and the glow-in-the-dark powder.
But mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that. but mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that. I don't deny there's some strange evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
Alrighty, so once we're finished applying the acrylic, I'm going to go ahead and go in with my 100 nail file to reshape the nails. As always, you want to make sure that you don't skip this step, because once you apply your acrylic, a lot of the time it will take away from your shape, which means it's not going to be that perfect coffin or square or stiletto shape that you did at first, because that acrylic will mess up your shape. So make sure that you go back and reshape your nails just a little bit. As you can see, it doesn't take much at all. You're literally just refining your shape. And then after this, we're going to go ahead and file all of the nails with the e-file. Alrighty, so once we finish reshaping all of the nails, we're going to go ahead and go in with our fine drill bit. And we're going to file around that cuticle area first. Remember, this area is really important because that's where a lot of your lifting will come from. So if you don't file really good around this area, you will get lifting because any water, lotion, oil that gets underneath that nail will cause your nail to lift. So make sure that you work your way around that cuticle area really good. As you can see, I start on the right side, work my way around to the left side, and I literally just keep going back and forth until I'm able to see where the cuticle is, where the natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. That way I know that the acrylic is not on the skin. And then also making sure that I go back and file the rest of the nail to make sure that it's all nice and smooth.
I don't deny there's some strange evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
And then also, I think I had people asking me why I switched from my other drill bit, the gold one, to this one, which is the ceramic fine drill bit. And it's literally just because a while back I dropped my e-file, like the handpiece, on the floor, and I'm thinking that some of the little like pieces on my fine drill bit kind of bent or something. So every time that I tried to file with it, it was like really rough. So that's why I switched over to this one, but they literally do the same thing. But you do want to make sure that that's something that doesn't happen. You don't want to drop your e-file because a lot of the time they will stop working, especially when you drop the handpiece. You know, those little, I don't even know what to call them, but like the little spikes on the drill bit, they're all the same size. Like, so if one of them bends, it's gonna be off, which means that it's gonna scratch the nail, and you're gonna be able to tell because it's not like mine was like really rough. So again, that's why I switched over to this one, and they basically do the same thing, nothing different at all. It's just literally different. You know, they're made out of different materials, but as far as like how they perform, they both were pretty good, or are pretty good. Okay, so once we finish filing the nails with the e-file, we're gonna go in and just buff all of the nails. As you guys know, this is just to get rid of all of those scratches left from our e-file or hand file. So also make sure that before you finish buffing that you go back and feel each nail with your thumb to make sure that they're all nice and smooth. And then also if they're still a little bit rough, just go back and of course buff some more. And after this, you can just dust their nails off and you can wipe them off with an alcohol wipe, which is what I do. Or you can have your client go wash their hands, whatever works for you. And then once they do that, we're going to go ahead and start. Of course, if you were doing polish, you would do polish, but I'm just doing some bling on this set because it's already really pretty without anything on it. So as always, I'm going to be using my AB, SS6, and SS12. I'm going to be using some bigger pieces as well. I'm going to use my hard gel and my Mia Secret gel resin, my activator, and then I'm also using my wax pencil. So as you can see, I applied my Mia Secret gel resin, and I'm just picking up the bling with my wax pencil, just placing it on the nails. And for these nails, which will be the pinky and the index finger, we're just doing the small SS6 around that cuticle area. Again, we just apply that glue where we want our bling. With our wax pencil, we pick up the bling and just place it on the nail. Alrighty, and for the middle finger, I'm using my hard gel because I'm using some of my pointed back crystals. So as you can see, I'm just picking them up with my wax pencil and I'm doing a little cluster right in the middle of the nail. And we're going to cure that for 30 seconds. We're going to do the same thing on the other hand. Again, we're doing the smaller SS6 around that cuticle area, picking up the bling with the wax pencil and just placing them on the nail. And then as always, you will see me use my activator as well, which literally just glues, or not glues, but dries the glue a lot faster. The Mia Secret will dry on its own, but it's going to take a bit longer because it is a thicker consistency, so you don't have to use it. But honestly, I feel like it makes the bling last longer, but that's just my opinion. But if you want to try it out, then again, that's the Mia Secret gel resin and the Mia Secret gel resin activator, which is the activator is just a spray. And then again, for the middle finger, we're just using the hard gel and we're using some of our pointed back crystals. We just put them back to back right in the center, and then we cure this for 30 seconds. And once we do this, we're going to go ahead and move on to the first hand that I already did and already cured, and we're going to apply a few more rhinestones around the bigger pieces. So for those, I'm using, of course, my Mia Secret gel resin. The only thing that I use the hard gel for are these big pieces, and then any other flat back rhinestones that I use, I just use my Mia Secret gel resin.
I don't deny there's some strange evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
Okay, and once we finish applying the bling, you're going to see me spray the activator, and I literally just spray once or twice and then I move on to the other one. So it's really nice and simple for this set. Again, we just did the glitter, the foil, and the flowers encapsulated, and then now we're just applying the bling. Once we're done applying the bling and spraying the activator, I'm just going to go in with my IBD gel top coat, which is the top coat that I always use. And we're just going to apply that over all of the nails and cure in each hand for 60 seconds. Alrighty, y'all, so here is the final look. As you can see, they just turned out so beautiful. Those flowers, that foil, the ombre, everything just went so well together. And this is how they look in the dark. As you can see, the only ones that glow are the pinky, the pointer finger, and also the middle finger. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at GetNail32, and I'll see you guys next time.